Hi guys, it's me, Ajar Alamsyah for Task 2, Subject Grammar Analysis with Dr. Andang Saihu. I'm going to cover noun clause and adjective clause. This is for the reference. The book title is Fundamentals of English Grammar, the third edition, written by Betty Scramfer Azar. Right, starting from the noun clause. Noun clause is the introduction. The example A here, I know his address. His address here is a noun phrase. Its function is an object. And then there is another example which is B. I know where he lives. Where he lives is not a noun phrase, but it is a noun clause because there is subject here and then the verb. And its function is also an object. Verbs are often followed by objects. The object is usually a noun phrase. In A, his address is a noun phrase. His address is the object of the verb know. Some verbs can be followed by noun clauses. In B, for example, where he lives is a noun clause. Where he lives is the object of the verb know. Example C. I know where he lives. A noun clause has its own subject and verb. In C, he is the subject of the noun clause. Lives is the verb of the noun clause. This is the key, which why it's called noun clause, because there is subject and verb. But in here, his address, there is none. Example D. I know where my book is. Noun clause. The subject is my book. The verb is. A noun clause can begin with a question word. An example E. I don't know if Ed is married. If Ed is married is a noun clause as well. A noun clause can begin with if or whether. And the last example F. I know that the world is round. Noun clause again. Noun clause can begin with that. Right. So now noun clauses that begin with a question word. They are when, where, why, how, who, whom, what, which, and whose. This is the information question. Where does he live? And then the answer, I don't know where he lives. I don't know where he lives is the noun clause here. Where he lives. When did they leave? Do you know when they left? And what did she say? Please tell me what she said. what he said here is the noun clause, and so on for the question GINK. And here are the answers represented by the alphabet H, J, and L. So, noun clause can begin with a question word, and here the question words, they are again when, where, why, how, who, whom, what, which, and whose. And there's notice here in the example, usual question word order is not used in a noun clause. For example, the incorrect one here, I know where does he live. So this is the wrong structure, because where does he live is the question, the question structure. The correct one is I know where he lives. Right. And this is for the exercise 1, information questions and noun clauses. Directions are the given words in number 1, an information question, or 2, a noun clause. Write 1 for the noun clause, and if it's a question, it's information question. For example, number 1 here, I don't know why he left. And number 2, why did he leave? It's the information question. And for example, number 3, I know where she is living. Now, I know where is she living is the information question here, because the structure is for the questional form. And number 5, where did Paul go? It's the information question, and for the noun clause is I know where Paul went. So thus with the rest, so it's pretty easy. Just look at the structure. If the structure is for the question, so it is information question. But where when the pattern is noun phrase, it is a noun phrase in full. Alright, so in here, noun clauses with who, what, whose plus be. For example, the question, who is that boy? This is for the question form, but we can ask in another form with the tell me who that boy is. And see whose pen is that. Tell me whose pen this is. And of course, in here, in noun clauses, there is no question mark. Who is in the office? Tell me. Let me know who is in the office. Tell me who is in the office. Let me know who is in the office. Whose pen is on the desk? Tell me whose pen is on the desk. Let me know whose pen is on the desk here. So it's just changing the form from the questional structure to the noun clause structure. Right here, there is another exercise. Noun clauses with who, what, whose plus be. Directions: underline and identify the subject and verb of a speaker's A questions. Complete the speaker's B noun clause. Number one, who is that woman? I don't know who that woman is. Who is on the phone? I don't know who is on the phone. What is a crow? I don't know what a crow is. What is in that bag? I don't know what in the bag is. What in that bag is. Whose cat is in the driveway? I don't know whose cat in the driveway is. So it's getting easier now because we need to be careful with the verb. In here, the verb is represented by be, is, mr, or was, were, not the verb, the regular verb. Alright, the last two slides for the noun clause here. Noun clause that begin with if or whether. It's yes no question. Is Eric at home? It is the pattern in question form, but we can use the noun clause form with the I don't know if Eric is at home, or I know if Eric is at home. Does the bus stop here? Do you know if the bus stops here? Careful with the verb here. The verb comes after the subject of the noun clause. Did Alice go to Chicago? I wonder if Alice went to Chicago. There is a note here. When a yes no question is changed to a noun clause, if is usually used to introduce the clause. G. I don't know if Eric is at home or not. When if introduces a noun clause, the expression or not sometimes comes at the end of the clause as in G. So when the if introduce a noun clause here in Eric is at home, and it could be in the end or not here, like the explanation here. And the last one, I don't know whether Eric is at home. In H, whether has the same meaning as if. Alright, the last slide for the noun clause. Noun clauses that begin with that. I think that Mr. Jones is a good teacher. So the object here is the noun clause that begins with that. I hope that you can come to the game. Mary realizes that she should study harder. I dreamed that I was on the top of a mountain. So after that is the form of noun clauses, because after that you can see there are subjects and verbs. A noun clause can be introduced by the word that. In A, that Mr. Jones is a good teacher is a noun clause. So yeah, it's pretty clear. So here's the further explanation. E and F. I think that Mr. Jones is a good teacher. I think Mr. Jones is a good teacher. That is often omitted, especially in speaking. There is no that in speaking, usually. And here is the list for the common verbs followed by that clauses. There are around 16 words, and this is the verbs in the above list are those that are emphasized in the exercise. Some other common verbs that can be followed by that clause are. So yeah, this is the addition. So yeah, this is the explanation for the noun clauses. I'm going to continue with the explanation of adjective clause.